When listening to the presentation at E3, I thought of Steve Rogers' immortal words of wisdom. Before we get started, does anyone want to get out? Hello everyone, Jeremy here, and today we are talking about the massive Avengers game reveal at E3. As a well-rounded geek, I've gotten used to saying the phrase, I love Marvel movies. As a gamer though, I've felt like a lone man wandering through the virtual desert with nary a Marvel game to quench my thirst. I'm still debating if what I saw at E3 was a true oasis or just a mirage. When this trailer started, I was on the edge of my seat and my arms immediately went into field goal position. I thought we won. We made it as a species. We staved off blowing up the world until we finally got a proper Avengers game. So when I started deflating just as fast, it took me a minute to realize what was bothering me. Now keep in mind, while the realist in me has a few things that just won't stop nagging at him, the optimist will also get his turn in this video. The most obvious and easiest thing to stand out has been the character designs. Honestly, they remind me of the Capcom versus Marvel designs. Granted, I do realize this is a different team and Crystal Dynamics has said they are doing their own spin. Let's just hope they aren't done spinning yet, and Cap stops looking like a big blue aluminum can. But the aesthetics are a minimal concern to me. They have plenty of time to tweak the character models, and I'm sure we'll have a plethora of swap-out costumes to buy once the game goes live. Wait, you say. Did you say buy? Crystal Dynamics said the DLC will be free. No, they actually didn't, and it's their statements at E3 that have caused me to make this video. Crystal Dynamics threw so many buzzwords at us during their presentation, I think a lot of us got excited before we knew what they were really saying. So let's break it down. During the presentation, they called the game a cinematic and character-driven campaign that delivers a narrative over multiple years with exciting new content on a regular basis. You'll assemble into teams of up to 4 players online, master extraordinary abilities, customize a growing roster, and defend against ever-escalating events. What game, previewed nearly a year ago to the day, could you say the exact same things about? Anthem. Let it be noted, I'm the guy who liked Anthem, and this even worries me. Note for note, line for line, they just described one of the biggest broken promises in gaming. Cinematic and character-driven campaign. Check. Delivers a narrative over multiple years with exciting new content on a regular basis. Check. Assemble into teams of up to 4 players online. Master extraordinary abilities. Customize a growing roster. And defend against ever-escalating events. Check. Check. All of them check. Now, did all of those promises come true? Not really, and I sadly believe that's why Marvel's Avengers didn't show co-op gameplay. It's not that the game isn't ready, which, to be fair, it's technically not, but there was no way they were going to show us something that resembles Anthem when many of us are still licking our wounds from that game. Then there is possibly the most misunderstood line of the night. Every new superhero and every new region will be delivered at no additional cost. Characters are free, but they didn't say anything about different costumes. Then what about emotes? Oh, hey, would you like to customize your own base? How about customizing a Quinjet? New regions are free, meaning new areas on the map. But what about storylines? Is this narrative over multiple years free? It frustrates me to say it, but I don't believe that for a minute. We won't have random loot boxes or pay-to-win scenarios. Translation? When you buy something in our store, you'll know what it is, and we won't be selling superpowers. Cosmetics only. Cosmetics only? That really sounds familiar. Hopefully, I'm completely wrong, and if not, maybe Crystal is learning from the sins of the past. The fact this sounds like Anthem worries me far less than the fact that it sounds like a games-as-a-service title. Don't believe me? Delivers a narrative over multiple years, with exciting new content on a regular basis. They told us to our faces this is a games-as-a-service title, and we wanted to ignore it because, frankly, I don't want to believe it either. I hope I'm wrong, but everything they said points to this simple fact. And because I'm getting sick of saying games as a service real fast, I'm just going to call it gas. Why gas and not goss? Because gas is what games as a service gives me and the rest of the gaming industry. Moving on. In my heart of hearts, I'm trying desperately not to be too down on this, but at this point, have any of us played a gas title that delivered on a great narrative? I don't mean a good one. I can attest to playing through some decent campaigns, but I've never played a gas title on the level of a good Marvel film. Heck, PS4's Spider-Man was as good as it was because you had an entire studio polishing a single-player experience. Each studio that has tried to deliver a compelling campaign in a gas title for the first time, mind you, has mostly failed. Bungie, Ubisoft, BioWare, all established and beloved companies that couldn't deliver that fully compelling narrative. It's very possible Crystal Dynamics will be the one to finally crack this code, but time will tell. Partnering up with 3 friends to take on an Avengers campaign sounds incredible, but I don't want to play a Marvel game that makes me do the same missions over and over again with little variation. Give me something with substance. Let me partner up with 3 friends, Halo style, and run through a great campaign as the Avengers. Speaking of, if I choose to go with matchmaking and get teamed up with 3 random players, playing through the game with 3 Captain Americas at my side won't be as fun as it sounds. That could be fixed in matchmaking with a simple mode that doesn't allow duplicate characters, but that still sounds like a recipe for disaster, as someone will inevitably be speedrunning the mission. On the flip side, the gameplay shown, which was confirmed to be seen in brief snippets, looked really great. Don't believe me? All gameplay. I fear asking Crystal to go back to the drawing board and re-engineer the game to no longer be gas is impossible. However, it might be possible to reorient the game to be more like Ghost Recon Wildlands. That game has many of the gas trappings, meaning all the DLC a thirsty publisher could ever want, but it also had a beefy campaign to be taken on solo or in 4-player. On top of that, it also had multiplayer and different versus modes that satisfied those fans. If Crystal Dynamics could apply this type of methodology to the final product, then we might just have something here. Bottom line, I truly hope my fears are completely unfounded and Crystal Dynamics delivers the Avengers game that fans can rally behind. So that's enough of my ramblings. What do you think? Does this remind you of games like Anthem, Destiny, etc.? Are you okay with it if it is another games as a service title? Will you skip it if it is? Did you pick up something maybe I didn't touch on? Leave your comments below. Also, if you enjoyed this examination, please hit that like button and share this with your friends. I'm trying to grow one protagonist and can only do that with your help. I'll truly appreciate it. That's all for now. Until next time, Excelsior!